Right, I'm Jay Fiddler from FIDZ TV. I'm down at the Coldwell Boxing Gym here with Richard Towers, now turned professional trainer. How are you going, Richard?
I'm good, thanks, Jay.
What's happening with your career as of now then after professional boxing?
Well, I'm not fighting anymore, so I'm just helping train a few fighters. You know, a few have come through the door, a few have done one through the door. But me and Adam, I've been sat at the side of Adam Booth, as you know, for 3 years. We had a year training together. You know, we'd had a training camp preparing for Dave Allen, and you know it all went wrong at the end. But this is what happens. You know, I was in prison for a long time, as you know, so I think something to do with my immune system, not getting used to the viruses outside the gym. You know, I pick up anything, especially if I'm training at a certain height, like you know Adam insists. So I'd got to end a 10-week training, and you know it all went wrong. I got flu. You know, I wanted to fight. You know, I said to Adam, you know, I beat Dave Allen with my hands behind my back. No disrespect to Dave, he's a friend of mine, but I understood what I could have done, especially with 10-ounce gloves on, with somebody like Dave Allen. But that's all in the past now, and Dave's doing really well, you know, fighting boxing everybody, boxed Ruiz Ortiz, boxed a good few people, stopped Dave Howe a few weeks ago. Doing really well, so I'm proud of the fella. But like I say, I've been at side of Adam for a good few years now, 3 years, about 3.5 years, something like that. And I've picked up on everything, you know, and I've specifically said to Adam, I want to learn the pad work because his pad work's, you know, next to none. Adam's a perfectionist. Everything he gets down to the T, literally from your feet to your head to the skin on your forehead. Adam's got every aspect covered. So we had a good talk and sat down and come to the conclusion that, you know, I've got an eye for boxing myself, and I've definitely got a lot of experience sharing ring with all the champions who we can think of: Joshua, Klitschko, Wladimir, Deontay, Pulev, Povetkin. Been in ring with everybody, so I think it's about time that I pass some of my knowledge down now. I was never even supposed to step into a ring, never mind accomplish what I did accomplish, you know, in the ring. Having all the fights I did and all the successes I did, but I owe that to my mentors, my original mentor being Brendan Ingle. You know, Brendan used to say to me, well, I used to be with him every day, probably 6-7 hours a day for 7 years. I was with Brendan, and we spent a lot of time together. And one of the instances I'm thinking of is when, you know, he'd come across an ex-professional fighter and they'd say, yeah, I'm training now, Brendan. He'd say, what are you doing with yourself? He'd say, I'm training now. And he'd go, I'm right glad. And they'd go, oh, right, what do you mean by that, Bren? He'd go, I'm right glad because you're going to end up a baldy bastard like me with all the fucking stress. You know, and I do understand it to some. I'm just starting off. I understand it from Brendan's point of view. He used to tell me all the stories. We've spent so much time together. He told me everything. But you know, I just want to take step by step and see what I can make, what I can, like I said, pass back to the up and coming fighters of today and tomorrow.
Yeah. As a professional trainer now, or were you actually training?
So I had a little talk with Lee Appleyard. He's fighting for the Commonwealth title on Saturday, and we had a little training session, few training sessions together. I think we had like 3 or 4 training sessions together, and I just showed him a few little things that I've got in the bag, and it seemed to work wonders for him. Whether he'll use it or not, I don't know. It's this sport's about repetition. This sport's about doing your thing over and over and over again. It's not just about, you know, watching some footage and then trying it and it working. It's happened before, you know, but I had a little start off with him, and then Curtis Woodhouse approached me and he said, Richard, he goes, I want to come back and have a little spar, have a little train and see how I go and see what we can do step by step. So I said, yeah, you know, why not? why not? And Curtis, you know, he'll give anybody a tough time, you know, in sparring, in a fight. And one of the blessings that Curtis is endowed with, he can punch, you know. So we're starting from the very bottom and working our way up, but just seeing what comes of it, you know. And I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket, so to speak, with anybody. I've got a few little kids coming in. You just met Harrison. He's 11 years old. Then I've got another kid, Errol Daly, absolute little weapon, 12 years old, and he knock a horse out if he hit on chin. And then I've got my little lad, little Rome, and Rio just likes to run right in the place. He's my 4-year-old, but my 8-year-old, he's picking the steps up, and I'm just so thankful to what Adam showed me. I'm so thankful to what Brendan showed me, because, you know, I know how to deal with kids. I know how to deal with people, you know, because when you think where I've come from, and what I've been involved in the past, and to this, it's just a complete flip of the coin. And I'm just so grateful for the opportunities. Dave Coldwell, he's give me a set of keys for his gym, you know, and I was totally surprised. You know, I was like, Dave, what would you say about me coming in the gym? You know, me and Adam have had a talk, and we're looking to, you know, if Adam gets a few fighters come on to him, want to come down there and train, save them the trip, because I've picked up all Adam's tricks and trades. We can train down here together. What would you say about, you know, training at the gym? And he went, Richard, he goes, I was going to say to you, he goes, I just didn't know how to approach it. He goes, but I was going to say to you, if you ever need to use my gym, you know, me and Dave become good friends with Andy Lee going over to New York. And he gave me a set of keys anyway, and I've been coming here training, and it's a fantastic gym. It's the machine of champion production, you know. And Dave speaks for himself. He's putting the work in. He's put the work in over a longer period of time than I think people realise, and it's just starting to pay off for him now with Tony Bello, with twins.
Yeah, I've seen Dave Coldwell about for a bit now. He's been.
Yeah, Dave's he's picked a few things up along his way, and I heard something very, very interesting recently. All the most successful people in this world have all got an uncanny resemblance of a technique they use, and if they're not, you know, endowed with a certain knowledge, they accumulate. They've all got the talent of accumulating different knowledge sets from different people. So they make friends of every area. If they want to know about bags, they'll meet somebody who makes bags. If they want to know about gloves, they'll meet somebody who knows about gloves, and that type of thing. And what they do is they gain all those as friends, and they gather as much information as they can. And when I think about the journey that I've been on, you know, I've been over in Austria, I've been over in Germany, I've been over in America, been over in Ireland, you know, sparring with everywhere, like I said, you can think of. And I've accumulated different knowledge sets. And now, like I say, all I want to do is I want to put it to work, and I'm lucky to have been complimented by Dave. He says, you know your boxing. Adam, you know your boxing. And Brendan, you're going to be a baldy bastard like me.
Can I just ask you on your relationship with Brendan Ingle? What's it like now? Has it still remained the same?
Oh, Brendan's like my dad, man. Brendan's like my dad. You know, I try and take Alma flowers, and Brendan likes cakes. Even if he's trying to cut down, I take him a box of cakes, and you know, me and my good friend, you know, we went down, and my friend picked the cakes out for me and said, "Oh, you'll probably like them." I took him the cakes, and he was over the moon apparently. So I take Alma flowers, I take Brendan some cakes, and I just try and you know, keep my distance in the sense of, you know, not just showing up to the gym and, you know, walking in, all right, Brent, because, you know, I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. Not that it would, but I don't like to turn up uninvited. And Brendan always says, you've always got a welcome here. My door's always open to you. You know, I sound like him, don't I? Not bad for a Jamaican fella. So it's nothing like I feel a little bit of a way, but you know, I like to let Brendan and Alma know that I'm turning up, and I go and they welcome me like a son. You know, do you still go down to Ingle Gym? Yeah, I still go down sometimes. Yeah, I watch all the kids. Barry, you know, Kid Gallagher. Me and Barry started off at the same time. I think he started a few months in front, and And you know, I just love to see the progress. I love to see people progress. And I think I've got that from Brendan. Brendan's just a complete humanitarian. And there's not many like that fella. I love Brendan with all my heart. And like I say, I'm just so grateful that I was blessed to meet these guys and be mentored by these guys. You know, now I'm trying to give a little bit back in the way that Brendan would, you know, and what I remember of Brendan. And dealing with these little kids, you see, you know, I'm not bad with kids, and if you'd have seen, you see that kid now, he's punching hard, you know, it's all good watching it, but I'm taking him on my wrists. Yeah. He's whacking, and he's only 11 years old. Yeah. You know, and you think to yourself, I always used to think, watch Brendan, you know, he wouldn't only spend time with champions, he'd spend time with the kids. And you could see champions like, Brent, you know, some of the champions would say, Brent, come on, you know, we're doing some part. You can hold your fucking horses. You know, and he'd always put time into kids, and that's why Brendan is Brendan. You know, I've got so much respect for that man, and I'm just trying to carry a little bit on, and I'm blessed with Adam's teachings as well. Yeah, you know, yeah. David A, George Groves, Andy Lee, you know, all these guys, and now, you know, we've got Charlie Edwards, we've got Ryan Burnett, both British champions. We've got Josh Keller, absolute weapon. Andy Lee's still training as well. He's going to have another fight. Billy Joe Saunders, and you know, it's a thriving time, especially when you've got connections like I've got.
Right now, what's your predictions on Anthony Joshua?
I don't know you were going to ask that.
That's what I've got to ask.
You know, I used to get my grandma. I used to say, What do you think? She slapped me, and I go, oh, Grandma. She go, now answer a question with a question. It's rude. And I go, all right, Grandma. But you know, I think Joshua's going to get smoked. I think Wladimir Klitschko is too ahead of his game. But what I will say, you know, in Anthony's favour, Anthony's a friend of mine, and I've got maximum respect for that guy, because people say, well, who's Anthony fought? Anthony's fought who's been put in front of him, and he's knocked them out in fashion. Knocked them all out. You know, you have to respect what that guy's done and what he's doing and what he's going to do. With regards to Klitschko, you know, there's not a but there. With regards to Klitschko, Klitschko's been doing this for nearly 30 years. He's been doing it from a child. He's been doing it from before we were probably even thought of. And now he's got it to a T. I think styles make fights, and, you know, what do I know? Sharing the ring with Wladimir Klitschko, I know that not much phases him, but I know that when you put a little few tricks in there, when you put a bit of, you know, unorthodox tactics in there, he stands to question, you know, and he questions for a little bit too long a time. If I'm honest, I don't think Anthony's got that trickiness, those little things up his sleeve to make Klitschko ask himself those questions and hesitate. What I would say to Anthony, if you're watching this, Anthony, you know, I've got maximum respect for you, but watch that fucking left hook and watch that right hand, mate, because it's quick, and if he goes to throw his left hook, I'm not telling you, really, you know what to do. You know what to do. You know what to do. You knew what to do before I even got involved with boxing. So all the best to you, pal. Do the damage. You know what to do, and I hope you do well, pal. I hope you do well.
Another one. Kell Brook fights at Bramble Lane. What's your prediction?
If I'm honest, you know, it's the same type of thing. A boy and a man, and you know, people said to me, they say, "Come on, that's Errol Spence. You know, this guy's deadly. This guy's not fought Kell Brook. He's not fought any other fighter like Kell Brook." And one thing I know about Kell, growing up with him, you know, in a boxing sense, you know, is that Kell knows how to put his shit together, and he knows how to put it down. And I don't think Errol Spence has seen what he's going to bring to the table. And when he feels, they underestimate Kell's power. I felt him as a heavyweight, you know, we've sparred together. I don't hit him back, but I'm just moving, and he's got a dig on him. And, you know, he's IBF champion for a reason. So I think, you know, if Errol Spence is looking at this and he's thinking, you know, it's going to be a walkover, I think it's Brendan used to call it. He's gonna get a fucking gypsy's warning. And when Kell sets about you, when Kell sets about a fighter, you know, he goes for the kill. He's got that killer instinct. I think personally, I think Kell's gonna do a number on Errol Spence. I think, you know, coming away from Bramall Lane, he's gonna, you know, as in old Kell fashion, he's gonna go, I knew what were gonna happen, didn't I? You know, in that little squeaky voice he's got. I'm only joking, Kell. Don't hit me when you see it.
Right then, Jay Fiddler from FIDZ TV. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Rich.
Good job,
Thank
Jay.
you.
Good job,
Cheers,
man.
pal.
Nice
Thank
one,
you
pal.
very much.